I said, are you getting a divorce?
Seems like the fucker doesn't want to get divorced. Doesn't want to split up his money, right? So
He's
now
never
he's
wanted
paying
to.
for my credit card and,
Okay.
you know.
So no?
No.
Okay.
For the moment.
You told me that you were going to get a divorce, that you had a lawyer and all this
I
shit.
do have a lawyer. I haven't paid her yet, but yeah, I have a lawyer. Yes, I've spoken to her. She's gone over the papers that he had drawn up. And she said, this is insane. Nobody would sign these papers. And no judge is going to pass it.
Okay.
And so I told him that those papers are not well done. And I also told him inevitably we were going to get divorced. And the next thing you know, he goes, well, I'm moving back to the house as soon as Natasha leaves.
Okay. Is that what you want?
What I would like to do is leave myself.
Okay.
Because this house is way too much work.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want for yourself?
What does it matter?
What do you mean, what does it matter?
Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? What do you think I want?
I think you want me to get a divorce.
You think I want
Yes.
you to get a divorce?
Yes.
What else do you think I want?
I think you want me to start living my life without him.
Okay, and what else do you think I want?
Whatever it is that you want for yourself, I don't know.
Okay.
What do you want for yourself?
I've told you many times what I want for myself. The fact that you don't know means you don't care or you don't pay attention. What do you want for me?
I want you to be happy.
Do you? What do you think is going to make me happy?
Being away from this bullshit.
And in what does that mean?
And it means living your own life away from this bullshit.
What specifically does that mean? What
means
does away from that bullshit mean?
physically away.
From
Physically.
what?
From your father and me.
Okay, and what does that mean?
It means you would be moving away from here.
Okay. Is that okay with you?
No, not really.
Why not?
Part of it bothers me a lot because where are you going to go?
What business is that of yours?
I want you to be safe and happy and do whatever it is that you feel you need to do while you're on this plane of existence.
So
Okay?
why can't I do that and be away from you and Bruce?
Yeah, you can.
You just said you don't think that that's a good idea.
No, I didn't say that wasn't a good idea.
So what did you say?
I said, I don't know if that's what I want. I
Okay.
don't know if that's what I want because I'm not sure what it is. I'm scared for your safety. I'm scared for, that's it. I'm scared for
You're
your
scared
safety.
for my safety
Yeah.
if I move away from you and Bruce.
Well,
You're scared for my safety
Yeah.
if I move away from you and Bruce.
Well, and that sounds stupid, doesn't it? Because you're more at risk here, especially for your sanity, than if you're away.
Are you scared?
Who has an emotional distance from the man? Even though
And I don't?
he recognizes. Well, he's not going to. As angry as he gets.
Is living with him?
No.
Don't you think that's a different situation?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so being away from you and Bruce, is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, obviously it's a good idea.
So why is it obviously a good idea for me and it's not obviously a good idea for me because it scares you?
No, Natasha, what scares me is the idea of you living in a mobile home because I don't know what you would be doing for the winter time. How do you
Okay.
keep warm in that thing?
So what do you think I should do?
Well, what do you think you should do? Why are you asking me what I think?
Because
you should
if you're telling me that you don't think it's a good idea that I do the thing that I've told you that I want to do. So what do you think that I should do?
I don't know. I don't know. Because if I were in your shoes, I would take off. I would. I'm free. Nobody's holding me back. If I have a vehicle, which you seem to have, I would just take off.
Okay. So would you support that?
That you're leaving? Yes, I would. If that is what you want, yes. Because I feel...
You go ahead.
I feel you're leaving like this. Backwards.
What does that mean?
That means I feel that you're leaving only because I asked you to leave, only because of the turmoil in this house. Only because I asked you to leave, only because of the turmoil in this house.
You think my entire reason for leaving is because you asked me to leave?
Yeah, and the turmoil in this house.
So what would be a good reason for me to want to leave?
To go towards something, whatever it is that you want to do, to live an adventure, to live your life.
Okay, so how is that different from what I'm doing?
I don't know. If that is what you're doing, then I'm all for it. Go for it. But if you're leaving only because it's hell...
Why do you think that the only reason that I'm leaving is because I'm trying to run from this? Or because you asked me to leave?
Because of what we went through the other day, a few months ago.
What
when
part?
I got mad one day and I said, just get the hell out of here. And then you got mad at me a few weeks later.
When was this?
Months ago.
Which month? Which month?
I don't remember. September, October.
September, October.
Last year, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even before, maybe. It was maybe before.
Do you think you only did that once?
Telling you to leave? I'm sure I did it a few times.
Okay. And what does that tell you?
I was upset. And
okay.
And somebody had to get out of this turmoil.
Somebody had to get out of this turmoil. What does that mean?
It means, yes, I know, Natasha. I want to get out of this mess.
No, okay, I said somebody, you said somebody has to get out of this turmoil. And then I asked you what that means or who has to get out of this turmoil. And you made the assumption that I'm implying that means you.
Yes. No. I'm making realization that it does mean me.
At what point?
Want me to leave.
Okay. At what point do you think that I should leave?
Whenever you're ready.
When would that be? When would you think that I'm ready?
I have no idea.
So you have no determination. But if I tell you that I'm ready, you're telling me that all you see is that I'm running or that I'm only leaving because you said whatever.
Yes. No. I need a coffee. Can I have a coffee? All I know is the lawyer said the fact that you're living in the house is beneficial in the sense that he's out, I'm here, and you're here. So it makes him responsible to pay part of the bills here and not just, I'm paying, so, No, he's responsible because his daughter is living here. Not because of his wife, his daughter.
He is responsible for the bills because his 38-year-old daughter is living in his house.
It doesn't matter how old you are. You're his daughter. It doesn't matter. She said it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is I'm not living in this house alone, that one of his children is living in the house. That's what she said. I don't know. It's just it's to fight for the house, but do I necessarily want this house? Not really. I don't necessarily want this house. I could build another house. I can have another house built.
You can do whatever you want. What does that have to do with anything?
That's all. That's because you just said, is it beneficial for you to stay here? I don't know, because in Canada, in this province, when you get married here without prenuptial agreements, which we didn't have, everything is 50-50. Everything. The house.
Right.
Everything.
And?
So he would have to split his dollars in half.
If he still has it. And?
What do you mean if he still has it?
He changed the passwords on his account. You can't see what money he has.
Yes, I know, but he's been texting me all his totals.
Mom, he was arrested for forgery.
Yes, I know.
How the do you think that his text messages are legit?
He's also giving me pictures of his screen, so I know he's got money at.
He was arrested
for
forgery.
I know, Natasha.
You think he can't forge a screenshot?
No. No.
You think he can't pay someone to forge a screenshot?
No, because in back, no, it's not a screenshot. It's a picture of his laptop. I can see the back. I can see he bought himself some kind of a stand for the equipment that I brought him. I can see everything there.
Does he own the condo or not?
No, he doesn't.
So he's renting the condo.
Yeah.
So what was that shit about him buying the condo?
Good question.
So you told me that he bought a condo.
No, that he was looking to buy a condo.
You told me that he had bought a condo.
No.
That when he was moving in September or whatever it was.
Yes, that he rented.
That he bought a condo.
No, he rented a condo, Natasha.
You told me he bought a condo.
Okay, Natasha, if I use the word bought, it was my mistake. But he rented a condo.
He had already rented a condo. He had moved from the fucking little apartment supposedly that he was living in, rented a condo, and then recently you told me he bought a condo.
No, we were looking to buy one.
We were looking to buy one.
Yes.
Okay, so you were acting...
Because we're still legally married, he can't buy one without
That's
my
right.
signature.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So you have to consent to him making a purchase. So you're not a victim in that.
No.
But you were acting like you were a victim in that.
No, that's why I want to involved. That's why we took our sweet time. We didn't want him buying a condo.
We didn't want him buying a condo.
Because
Why don't... What does it
Natasha-
matter what he wants to do with his life?
What?
If he wants to buy a condo, so long as he doesn't do it with your money, what does it matter?
You're absolutely right. If he was 100% all there, it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, so now we're going back to the he's crazy thing.
No, he's not crazy. He's got brain damage.
So do a lot of people.
Yes, and I probably do too.
He's still lucid enough to make his own decisions.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're agreeing with that,
He can
then
buy
you
a
have no
condo.
place trying to
Yes.
control his
Yeah.
decisions.
So what are you saying to me though? Do you want to stay here? What? My mind is all over the place. Okay? Do you want to stay
I'm
here?
trying to gauge where your head is at because you sabotaged my car battery.
How the f*** did I sabotage
You
your car
went
battery?
into the car and you turned the radio on and the
No,
car.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Natasha,
Okay.
I never touched your car.
You hid my frying pan.
How did I hide
You
your car?
hid my trout.
What trout?
You ate my ground beef.
What ground beef?
Wow. Okay.
Are you for real? What the hell's
Okay.
going on in this house?
Okay.
Natasha?
Okay. I think we're done. Do you love me?
Absolutely.
Why?
Did I do it while I was sleeping?
Why do you love me? Why do you think you love me? Tell me one thing you love about me.
There's a lot of things I love about you.
Be specific.
Your heart.
What does that mean?
I know who you are.
Do you?
I know your heart.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what am I? Who am I?
You're Natasha,
Okay.
Sophia,
The government knows that about me too.
Maria,
Uh-huh.
Heinz.
Yeah, the government knows that about me too.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you taping this, by the way?
No, you want to see my phone?
No. I'm just wondering why you keep checking it.
Because I'm trying to end the conversation. Because when you're denying facts that I know, there's no...
I swear, I never opened the car door to that car that you borrowed from. I never touched it. I never even looked inside your truck.
Okay.
Okay?
What do you
Why
love?
do you believe...
What, Nate? Tell me one specific thing that you love about me.
You're
What?
honest?
Am I?
Yeah, most of the time. Except for when you're assuming things.
That's what you love about that.
Except for
You
when
you
you're
have a
assuming things.
daughter.
Yes.
Okay, except when I'm assuming things.
Yes.
Then I'm dishonest, right?
Then
when I'm
you're
making assumptions,
mistakes.
then I'm lying.
No, you're not lying.
So
but
am I
you're
not?
making-
You just told me that I'm not honest
Okay,
when
you
I'm
just
making
wanna argue
assumptions.
with me.
No, I'm
I
calling
said
you out
you're
on
honest. I
bullshit.
like you because you're honest,
You like
But
me because I'm honest.
I love you because you're honest.
Because I'm honest.
But the thing is that when you make assumptions, then it's not
You
reality.
okay, what? Tell me one substantial thing about me that is particular to me that you can't say about your friends.
The honesty that you shit at me is something my friends don't do. Not to that point. They're pretty honest, but not
The
to that
honesty that I shit at you is not
I'm
something
sorry
that...
if I'm using the
Okay.
word shit, but I'm Italian. We use a lot of vulgar language to express love.
What do you know about who I am?
I know who you were as a child. I know how curious you were. I know you question a lot. You've always questioned a lot. I think that right now you're at an age where you think you know better than everybody else for some reason.
Oh, yeah? That I know better than everybody
You're
else.
assuming that I touched the car. You're assuming I ate a fucking trout.
And
When did I cook the
and
trout?
how is that evidence to show that I think I know better than everybody else?
Because I'm telling you, I never went into your car.
What does it have to do with me thinking I know better than everyone else?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's me knowing better than everyone else.
Well, that's what you're saying to me.
Okay.
You're denying what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. Why would
So
I
are
lie?
you the only person in the world?
No, I'm not the only
So
person
how
in the
does
world.
how I speak to you tell you that I think I know better than everyone in the world, than everyone
Okay.
else?
All right, I exaggerated. Thank you.
Okay. So tell me something particular to me. What do you know about me? What are my passions? What are my visions? What are my goals? What do I want for my life? What would make me happy?
Okay. You have a good heart. Your passion is helping, is being there, teaching and helping and showing people the right way. You're very creative. I know you used to be artistic, but you don't seem to believe that. And you haven't done it in so long, I don't even know if you have.
I haven't been creative.
No, artistic.
Artistic. I was artistic.
Yes.
When was I artistic?
When you were very young.
When I colored? Like
you
all the other
colored,
kids?
painted. No, you know, the detail you used to put in your paintings was insane.
How old was I?
6, 8.
6 and 8.
Yeah.
I put detail in my paintings.
A lot of detail.
And that we just happen to not have.
The paintings?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I still have them.
Okay. What else?
I tried keeping them.
Okay, so that's when I was a toddler.
Yeah, that was when you were a child.
Okay,
yes.
so 6
As you
years
grew
old.
up, there was a lot of anger that built up because of when you started singing. I think he started taking over your life.
Okay, and?
And things got really up.
I've been here for almost 4 years.
Last 3 years? Yeah.
What do you know about me?
Maybe nothing. What do you know about me?
Doesn't that tell you something?
And what do you know about me?
What I know about you is that you are addicted to your narcissistic husband.
Okay.
You make everything about him.
Okay.
You cut people off and you talk over them and you want to make everything about yourself all the time. That you think that my problems are not important because your problems are more important. That when you talk to other people, you do the same thing. You pretend that you care about their shit as long as it's drama and it's fun to talk about, and that sucks them in. And then as soon as it gets boring, or as soon as you're fed up of listening to them, or as soon as you get the chance, you turn it again about yourself so you can continue to talk about Bruce and your problems. It's all Bruce, 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 Bruce.
Okay, well.
And then you drink, you smoke, you refuse to quit, you refuse to drink water, you refuse to meditate, you refuse to stretch, you refuse to do squats, you refuse to walk or do anything that's going to help you in any way, physically, mentally, or emotionally. You continue to complain about the same shit. You hide your alcohol, you hide your drinking problem. What else do you want me to say? What are your goals? Your goals are to make me live in an apartment near here so that you can have the key and have a place to run and you can control me and know where I am at all times. You want to control me through his kids and through money and through your relationship with and know where he is all the time. You want to control Bruce through his meds, through making sure that you're the one who has access to them and has to deliver them to him and making him dependent on you. You want to control everybody. And how do I know this? Because you literally told me. You said you like painting. I bought you supplies to do painting. Have you ever painted? Not once.
No, I know. And I've been thinking
So
about it a lot.
what am I missing about you?
A lot.
Enlighten me.
Okay. Since you've told me, and it's been a few months, about a year and a half, that I have a control problem.
Okay.
I want to control him. That I need to control everybody. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I have been looking at everything. I don't want to control. First of all, I can't control. Okay, the words I use, you misunderstand. When I talk to you, I must think in English and weigh every word that I use when I talk to you.
Ok. Parlami in italiano,
Ok.
perché se questo è il problema, io ho capito l'italiano.
Ok, voglio vedere se tu capisci tutto
Yeah,
quello
ok.
che dici. Io non voglio controllare chi lo rimbambito.
Ok.
Perché io non rimbambito?
Then why do you give him chocolate when he doesn't want to he's a child?
No, who?
Dei bambini.
No, li bambini, lo rimbambito,
Oh,
lo
ok.
pazzo,
Ok.
ok? Perché is erano un che non c'ha niente a che fare con me. Ok? Do you understand what I just said? He's
Then-
of a world that has
Then
nothing to do
why
with me.
don't you get a divorce?
Because it implies dividing everything in half.
And
I don't want a divorce. I think we should live separately, but I don't think we need
Okay.
a divorce.
I don't want a divorce is not an answer to why don't you want a divorce.
I don't want a divorce because I don't need a divorce. I don't need to get remarried.
You
I
don't
need.
need.
Yes.
Who said you have to fucking get remarried if you get a divorce?
I don't want a divorce. I don't want a legal document telling me
Why?
that I got divorced. I don't want one. For me, it's beneficial, not for me personally. Not for him, I don't give a shit.
Okay, how is
For
it
me
beneficial?
personally. Because if I'm legally married, if I outlive him, I could die first. I don't care. You understand? That's besides the point. But if he were to die before me, I would also get a pension from the government. Okay, whether we have money or not, I'm insuring myself a secondary pension
Okay.
from the government. Okay?
We've gone over the
Also-
numbers. We've gone over the numbers.
Also-
We've gone over the numbers to the point where I've showed you that the shit you tell me about how much shit costs and how much it's going to save
What
you
is it
for
going to
is
do
a
for me
bullshit
if I get a
lie.
divorce? What's it going to do for me?
To no longer be attached to someone who is constantly manipulating you, constantly
Yeah.
cheating on you,
Yes.
constantly changing his mind and making random decisions about where he's going to live,
Yes.
spending all your money.
Yes.
Don't you think that it's a beneficial to get away from that?
Is it beneficial to get away from it? Not necessarily. I have a place to stay right now. I can stay here for the next two years. I'm thinking
Not
3
necessarily.
maybe.
Okay. I just listed a bunch of extremely devastating issues for the average person.
Yeah, I got an interview for a job tomorrow, and I'm going for another interview on Monday.
Okay.
I'm gonna make
So
sure
now
I'm
instead
working.
of getting a piece of paper that says
Yes.
you are no longer legally bound to that fucker,
Yeah.
now you're gonna go get a job so you can make more money to put in the pot that he's spending. What are things that you need to work on about yourself?
Taking care of myself better.
What does that
Becoming
mean?
mentally, emotionally, completely detached, because it's getting there. I've been working on that. You may not see it, but I'm cutting myself away from whatever black hole he's living in, because it's insane. It's immoral. It's
So again,
insane.
why do you feel the need to be bound to that?
I'm not bound to it
You're
Yes.
legally bound to that.
because we're legally married.
Yeah. Okay. What does it mean that you want to take care of yourself more?
That's one of the reasons why I want a job. I want to be out of the house. I want to
be out of the house.
Yes.
That taking care of yourself more?
Yeah.
What are some things that you need to work on about yourself?
My health,
Your health, your physical health.
my physical health.
That's anything else?
Yes, Natasha, there's many things that I have to work on myself,
Okay.
obviously.
Name me a couple.
Oh, fuck. Look, I'm not sleeping well, so I have to get myself into some kind of a routine to take care of my health. First things first. Me. All right? I have to take care of my health. Point final. I got to sleep better, got to eat better.
Mm-hmm.
And I never touched your fish. I don't understand where that was coming from.
Okay. So mentally and emotionally, what are some things that you need to work on about yourself?
I've been working on things.
Like
Trying to distance myself emotionally from everything so that I can see things clearly. Our relationship, the way it has deteriorated.
How about the way you treat other people? Are you good with that?
No. Who have I been bad with?
I'm asking you.
The only one that's major problem is the relationship I have with you right now.
That's the only problem. And why is it bad?
Well, because we're not communicating properly. And that's why I said when
We're
I
not
talk to you, I have
communicating
to
properly, meaning that I told you that I didn't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, for one.
Okay.
And for another, it was a bullshit that I was spewing at you. Stuff
Okay.
that I should not have been saying.
Do you remember what else I said when I told you that I didn't want to talk to you anymore?
Yeah. I have no interest in your life. I don't ask you any questions about yourself, and all I do is regurgitate the bullshit that I'm living through. And exactly what you said before. What I'm living through is more important. What you're living through is secondary and not important at all.
Okay, so first of all, is there anything that you think that you need to work on about yourself?
Yeah, be more attentive to other people.
Is that a question?
No, I'm telling you this is what we're getting at. And I know it is something that I know I cut off even Susan when I talk to her sometimes.
Okay.
Yes, I catch myself.
What was the thing that I told you when I told you that I didn't want to talk to you anymore? What was the reason?
You wanted me to go see a psychologist.
Okay. And
I called a few. I got an appointment online with one. It was all by text.
So?
What kind of
okay. Let's say this appointment really happened.
It did.
What? Okay, did you see the person?
Nope.
Why not?
It was all by text.
What was by text?
She would ask me questions. I'd think about it, give her an answer, and she would talk about it.
Okay, so you had a session?
We had a few, yes.
Okay. You had a few sessions?
Yes.
What's a few sessions?
6.
You had 6 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did they last?
15 minutes at the most.
6 15-minute
Yep.
sessions. Were they daily, weekly?
Okay, they were by text, so you could text her at any time, but she would respond like 24 hours later. So it was like...
okay, so you would text her and she would text you back
month,
24 hours later.
Yeah.
So they weren't 15-minute sessions. How do you calculate that?
Yeah, okay. Well, it would take me 15 minutes.
Okay, so is the app called BetterHelp?
Yes.
Okay. So that's not a therapist. That's not a therapy session.
What is it?
It's an app to help people who need to talk to somebody. That's not therapy.
Okay.
So why haven't you made an appointment with a therapist?
Because I know what a therapist would tell me. I've
What would
already
they
talked to
Okay, what would
a
they...
few therapists, and
Okay.
what they've told me is, are you clear about what you're saying? Do you understand the commitment you're making? Even the lawyers tell me the same thing. It's like talking to a therapist when I talk to them too. Do you understand what you're saying? Do you see what's going to happen if what you're saying is true? Do you see what the future holds for you? What is it that you want? I mean, basically, all the questions that you're asking me is the questions that they would ask. Do I have answers to all these questions? No. I can tell you one thing, though, that I've learned. Sometimes not deciding is a decision in itself, because things still keep moving on, and things have changed.
Okay.
Have they
So
changed for the better?
we're
Not
talking
really.
we're talking about your relationship and your marriage.
about
The deciding,
me,
not deciding, and all
me.
that shit.
Yeah, that and the fact that I threw myself in babysitting the kids because they were stuck, and now the kids are both, like, one's in daycare, one's at school, so they don't need me anymore. So I said, what the let me get myself a job.
Let you get a job. Okay. So why haven't you gotten therapy?
Because it would come down to talking about stuff that I already know that I have
So you're
to work
fine, and you already know what you need to work on. And what you need to work on is getting clarity. I'm reiterating what you're saying.
Yes. Is
What
getting
you're-
clarity in my mind.
About your choices
About
and
my
your
choices,
commitment.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's the only thing that they would tell you.
Yeah, they can't tell you what to do, but even though some of them have.
Because is that the only thing that you need to work on? Just figuring out your marriage and those kind of decisions?
Focusing. They would be working on my focusing. I know I have to work on my focusing.
Focusing, what does that mean?
It means concentrating on what? The subject at hand, instead of allowing my brain to keep popping everywhere.
Okay, so what? You think you have ADD?
I don't know what it is. I don't think it's ADD, but I know that I can start a conversation, end up in
Talking about Bruce?
Timbuktu. Huh?
Talking about Bruce?
No, I wasn't even thinking about Bruce.
Okay.
Okay, but I can start a conversation with someone, end up in Timbuktu, come back, go over to Zimbabwe, come back, go to somewhere else, and I'm all over the place. And they're like, whoa, you're dizzy.
Right. So the only things that you need to work on is decisions, clarity on what you're doing with your decisions with your marriage, and
Clarity.
focusing on one topic at a time.
No. Okay, say that again.
Getting clarity. You said that the therapists, they all ask you the same things, and one of the questions that they ask you is, are you sure about...
my plans for me, for my future.
Okay.
Yes.
Your plans for you and your future. So you know this from a therapist that you saw how long ago?
I don't know, months ago.
Months ago.
Months ago.
Okay, so months ago or years ago?
Months ago.
While I was living here?
Yes.
You saw a therapist?
Yes. Saw a therapist? No, it's all by phone.
Okay, so we're
that
talking about
stupid
BetterHelp, the app?
That one, plus I spoke to a couple of psychologists when I was looking for Bruce. I actually talked to them myself because the first session was free anyway.
Okay, so you took a free session with the therapist that was going to talk to Bruce?
No, because they wouldn't take him.
So you didn't take a session with the therapist because they wouldn't take Bruce?
No, one of the psychologists I called would not take Bruce, but they talked to me. The other one said, I will take your... He only talked to me for like 10 minutes. He goes, I will give him a session and we'll take it from there. But from what you're telling me, I'm not going to see him very often. I said, okay. And I actually drove him there, and he was right.
Did you ever call that therapist back and thank him for wasting his time?
For wasting Bruce's time?
No, wasting the therapist's time.
Oh, no, I made sure that Bruce paid him.
Okay.
Made sure he paid him.
So he went back and paid him?
Oh, of course.
Well, it's not of course.
I drove him there. I made sure he went back and paid him.
Okay. So that was one time you tried to get Bruce to go to a therapist, and that therapist talked to you for 10 minutes while you were explaining the issue with Bruce.
15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then somehow you ended up taking
he
a free
told-
session with another therapist before that?
Yes.
An hour session?
No. It
How
was
long was
15, 20 minutes.
Okay, so that was not a session.
No. Okay, 15, 20 minutes on the phone with a psychologist. Okay.
Okay, so that's the call that you make to see if it's worth getting a session.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so who decided that it wasn't worth getting a session?
Me, him, whatever.
You just don't have any interest in
No.
seeing a therapist.
I would go see a therapist if I knew what I was working on. If I go see a therapist just because I want to shoot the shit.
Okay, so this is what I'm asking you. What is there to work on?
Okay. I don't know what there is to work on. There's too many little things to work on. Right now, I'm too tired. I need a coffee. I'm very thirsty. And I'm standing here getting in pain.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking this again is because I told you that I didn't want to talk to you anymore.
Until I go see a
No, it wasn't an ultimatum. I told you that your decisions go in a cycle and it causes my life problems,
Yes.
and that I was going to cut you off because your shit causes my life shit. That was what I was saying. I'm done. I said, added to that, if you want to continue having a relationship with me or rebuild a relationship with me, that it's a good idea that you go to therapy consistently.
Okay, so you feel if I go to a therapist, yeah, okay,
What?
then we would have better communication.
No.
No.
It was not an ultimatum.
Oh.
Do you understand why I cut you off?
Yeah, because I was constantly going in circles and not getting anywhere, just
Okay.
driving you insane and saying things that were insane.
Okay. Like what?
Like always talking about shithead, like giving you ultimatums about leaving home. I don't know what else I did,
Okay.
except that I was
And
always
do you-
losing my patience.
Okay, so are you accepting that that's fucked up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
So-
understand where I was a year ago
But
and
it's
where
still
I am
not.
today.
It's still not really something that you want to go see a therapist
Because
about.
I understand where I was a year ago. I understand where I was 2 years ago. I understand where I am today, and the thing and how I have to move forward. Yes, I have things to work on. Do I need to go sit down in someone's office and discuss it with the person? Actually, you don't discuss with the person, because from my past experiences, you sit there and just talk until it wakes up in your own brain. Oh, this is what I should be doing. Thank you very much for listening. And you walk out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know that some
Therapist?
people do that.
Yeah.
Psychoanalysts, I think. And then there are counselors, and there's all kind of options where you can find somebody that does give you feedback.
Okay.
So, anyways, the point of that
Yeah.
is to remind you of what I had said and to ask you what has come of it. And so you're saying that after the last couple years, you said, I know where I started, then a year later, right? So, but over the past 3 years, you have what? Learned, grown?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say 25% better than I was 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago,
Okay.
even.
So how have you changed? That's supposed to tell me that you're not going to do the exact same thing that you did repeatedly over the past couple of years to me.
To you. For one, when I get confused, because, well, that's all right. What I am still working on, which has gotten a lot better, but like I said, 25% improvement. There's a long ways to go. All right. When I get emotionally upset, I take a step back. Yes, I have a little bit of vodka because I have to stop and calm down and think. And I can't think after I have vodka, so I go to sleep. But I have to stop and not react. Okay?
So you drink the
Not
vodka so you
reacting.
can think, but then you can't think, so you go to bed.
I need sleep, Natasha.
Okay.
I need sleep bad, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I am more capable today of having someone say something to me that could be emotionally disturbing and not reacting. And just going, yeah, okay.
You're better
just
at not
react.
reacting
Yes.
to something that someone triggers you with.
Yes.
And
By
how
two.
does that have anything to do with what you said and did to me?
Because in the past, Natasha, you've always been the one to take the brunt of everything. Every time there's a problem, people get mad at Natasha.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're accepting that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And my reaction with you was because I was getting upset by other things that were going on. I was upset, so I let it out on you. Okay?
Okay, so you're saying that you realized that I was the scapegoat, I was the
Yes.
kick me doll.
Yes.
And so when you were upset, you chose the kick me doll and just contributed to that. Okay. And you're telling me that now, because you realize that,
Yes,
that things are going to be
Natasha.
different. And when did you?
Things are not going to be different. I realized that because after it happened, after all that shit happened, I took a good look at what was going on, and it took me a few months to decipher through all the freaking different levels of emotions. Okay, you're asking me if I know who you are. I don't know all of you. The only one who knows all of you is God, the Maker, whatever you want to call it.
I'm not saying you know all of me. I'm saying you don't know all about me.
Okay.
I'm saying I've lived here for the past 4 years and you don't know anything about me. You know less about me than the government knows about me.
Wow. What does the government know that I don't know? Besides your name. Okay. All right.
Okay, so what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
You just deflected from what I asked you.
See, I'm sorry. That's a lapse.
What's a lapse?
What just happened is a lapse.
It's a lapse.
Yes.
But is that your focusing problem?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your focusing problem, not your unwillingness to answer the question.
No, I forgot.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so shall I remind you then?
Please.
Okay, so the problem was what?
Okay, yes. Okay, now I'm back there.
Okay.
After what happened between us, Natasha, it scared the shit out of me.
What did?
You.
Okay.
That scared the shit out of me.
That was a fucking different day.
Yes, I know, Natasha. That was after.
Do you know why that happened?
There's a lot of anger in you.
What did you do? Did you not do anything? What provoked that?
You told me you didn't want to talk, and I kept pushing.
Okay, so you were pushing me to react.
I was pushing you to talk.
You were pushing me to talk,
physically,
and I said no. I closed my door, and you persisted.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means I pushed you to the limit.
You pushed me to react.
Yeah.
It also means, what does it mean when someone says no?
Stop.
So why didn't you stop?
I don't know why I didn't. Oh, obviously, because I was not in control of my emotions at the time. Now, if you were to tell me today, and that's how we've been living, and actually I've been even avoiding you, and you've been avoiding me, which is insane. We shouldn't have to be at that point.
Is it insane? What does it mean when someone says no?
It means stop.
And so why did you not stop?
Because emotionally I was not in control.
Okay.
And I felt
okay.
that I
and
had
so
to keep
now
pushing.
You're in control?
Better than I was, yes.
Okay. So you don't need therapy. You
no,
got
I didn't
this.
say I don't need therapy.
You said you don't want therapy.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now.
Are you saying that you do need therapy and you don't want therapy?
I probably do need therapy.
But you don't want therapy.
I don't want it right now because I don't feel I know what it is that I want to zero in on, to work on and talk about with a therapist. Because if I walk in right now, my mind would be all over the place. Okay, and
at what point do you think that it's going to not be all over the place, that you're going to feel comfortable enough having a conversation with a therapist for an hour?
I don't know. I'm feeling better today than I was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. I'm feeling a lot clearer now, and maybe the time's gonna come soon. Maybe it's gonna come soon. Maybe it'll be this summer. Maybe it'll be my birthday gift to myself. Hey, what the hell? Let's sign up for some sessions with a good therapist. I don't know, but right now, I feel what I need is to get out of this schedule or whatever that I'm doing and get the fuck out of the house and get myself doing something. And I've got 2 job offers, so I figured, what the hell?
You got 2 job offers.
Yeah, they're
which means you applied to jobs.
Nope.
No.
I didn't apply.
You just walked down the street and people threw
My mom asked me, you want to work? I said, sure, but part-time. And the guy is opening a restaurant, was working, I was going to work.
Okay.
There's another woman, I'm going to do a few hours.
You just said that you are so tired that you need sleep.
I need sleep. Doesn't mean
why don't you sleep now that you're not babysitting because the kids are in daycare?
I can't sleep during the day.
So when are you going to sleep?
I'm going to try and get myself into a schedule to be able to fall asleep around 10 and be up at 6. And not fall asleep at midnight and be up at 3.
And why haven't you been sleeping?
Because I'm thinking the wrong things. So I'm doing stuff.
What is wrong? What are the wrong
eliminate
things? What does that mean?
Worrying about stuff.
Like what?
Well, I'm worrying about things that I don't want to talk about.
Things that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have to
Because
do with Bruce?
Yes, that's why I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want those things to be in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? I don't want to talk about it because I
Okay,
don't
so
want it to
you
be
don't
in my
want to
mind.
think about the
Yes.
problem.
Yes, I don't want to think about it. Yes.
Okay.
I want that problem to be God's problem, not my problem.
That's what a divorce does.
Okay, yes. And you know what? And some people get divorced and they end up living in the same house.
How often do you see Bruce?
Once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Okay. How are you forgetting he exists by seeing him every fucking
Because
week?
when I see him, it's for 5 minutes. I drive him from wherever he parks the car to me. And then he spends 2 hours with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, we got to go, and drive him back to his car and he leaves.
Okay. And that's better than a divorce.
I don't see the utility. What is a divorce going to give me? I still would have to do that.
Do
I would
what?
still have to pick him up, drive him there, have him be there, because made it very clear he cannot be there if I'm not there.
So who is making have him there?
He himself. And Bruce even said he prefers when I'm there because he forgets things.
Why would tell you that Bruce cannot be there without you?
Because...
But it's his choice to have Bruce there.
Natasha, I don't want to talk about this, but he's not the same.
Uh-huh.
Somebody has to watch him. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Why does it have to be you?
Well, who's going to watch him?
Why?
Gets fooled by him.
Gets fooled by him?
Yeah.
Gets fooled by...
Okay. You want to go down this road?
What I want to understand is why a man who is currently cheating on you...
Yes.
With God knows how many women...
Yeah.
Has a side chick that he is also cheating on.
Yes.
Who's a drug addict. Who's decrepit and smells. And an alcoholic. And abusive. Here's something. How about the fact that he sexually exploited his daughter? Tried to pimp her out. Yeah. How about the fact that he fucking abused me for all my life? At what point do you stand up for me?
That is the exact question that I asked myself a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And the other question is, how do I stand up for you? I don't even know what you would want me to stand up for you. How?
What does that even fucking mean? What does that mean? You don't know what I would stand up... When do I...
How? Yes.
When do I need you to stand up for me?
Completely out of my... Okay, by getting a divorce.
At what point
yes.
are people doing things that I need to be stood up for?
Oh, when we're supposedly all together having a family get-together? And you're not invited? I remember hearing that from you.
Okay, no. I'm asking you what you think, not to fucking try to remember what I've said.
Okay. What I think, I can tell you verbatim because I've talked to and said, I want a relationship with my sister.
Oh, yeah?
But she has to learn how to control her anger.
I need to learn how to control my anger.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay. Okay.
Why?
Because I'm the one that blocked for calling me telling me that everybody's laughing at me and that I'm crazy. So that doesn't seem very fucking logical to me. Okay? And let's not make that it about what wants or says, okay? So you're telling me that he wants a relationship with me, except he has his boundaries or standards that I'm not meeting. Okay. Is that the only time that anyone's done anything that I should be stood up for?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Natasha, yes, there's other things.
Like?
Like the fact that I'm asking you to leave the house, actually that you are leaving the house, and I don't know anymore. Are you leaving because you're ready to leave, or is it because I asked you to leave?
Okay, but
And
you're...
if he was not coming back, and this is my house, would you stay here?
I'm asking you a question and you're changing the subject. I can answer that for you, but let's lose what we're talking about.
Okay.
I asked you in what situations have happened that I needed somebody to stand up for me.
Oh, okay. If you're ever mentioned, that happened a couple of times over the summer. Oh, I'm not like late. When was it? August, September, when he started going back to me. I made the mistake of going outside for a few minutes, come back in. He was talking about you, and I defended you.
You defended.
Understood very clearly. The problem is not you; it's him. Okay. And then
so you defended
Matthew,
me to Bruce at.
Yes, and then later on discovered other information. We all know he's an idiot. We all know he's still cheating.
Okay.
We all know that
So
the marriage
one
itself
time,
is
no, I don't want to talk about
finished.
Bruce. I'm asking you a question about me now.
Yes.
Okay. One time you defended me in a conversation at.
Yeah, well, it was a biggie. Why?
It was a big.
That was the only time that ever.
What did he say about me?
That you were the reason that he couldn't come back to the house.
Okay.
That you were controlling everything. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, well that's fine. He's gonna come back to the house if he wants when I leave, right?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. When else have I, in my entire life, have I needed someone, especially my mother, to stand up for me?
Okay, Natasha.
It's 38 years. You can think of one or two things.
Okay. When he was trying to hit you.
Okay.
When he was using you as on stage, when he was abusive in the way he talked to you before you would go on stage, always negative in about the way you dressed and the way you appeared. Some of the shit that he pulled, I wasn't even aware of, and
Okay,
I found
so-
out from you afterwards.
Okay,
and
so
I'm
things
like,
that
what the
I've
fuck?
told you.
And I did confront him with it.
Okay.
No, I didn't say anything like
Right.
that. Well, he just said, it wasn't.
Right.
Okay.
So these are things that I've told you
Yes.
that bothered me, that I've recently, over the last couple of years, told you,
Things-
reminded you of, that happened when I was a
No,
child.
I've seen him when he was trying to
Okay.
hit you.
And then I'm
And
going
I've
to tell
intervened
you,
on
and then
that.
I'm going to ask you, why didn't you stand up for me then? And you're going to say, I didn't know, or I didn't understand, or I was f***ed up. And then I'm going to say, if you were f***ed up, then why don't you go see a therapist? And you're going to say, because I'm better now, blah, blah, blah. So let's talk about recently. Let's talk about the last 2 years. In the last 2 years,
Yes.
what has happened that I should have been, that I deserve being stood up for?
The fact that he's blaming you for him not being here?
Don't ask me, I'm asking
No,
you.
I'm telling you. That's the only thing that I can see that you need help, somebody standing up for you.
Okay.
The rest, Natasha, is inconsequential. We did not have a Christmas at She didn't do anything for New Year's. She did nothing.
You didn't do Christmas at because there was a lockdown and no one was allowed to
Right.
go
But
anywhere.
the year before, there was almost nothing either. Wait, what
Almost
happened?
nothing?
Yeah. 2019?
Okay.
2018, 2019. Oh yeah, no, that was even better. 2019 was even better. Remember I drove you to
Okay.
yeah, when I got back to the house they had already eaten and they were on their way to play Pokemon.
And
And so I didn't even have supper that night.
you didn't have supper that night. What does that have to do with me being stood up for?
They didn't have anybody over except me and him.
And?
That was it.
And?
They didn't even have her sister.
Okay, so I didn't have to be stood up for because it was just you and Bruce that got invited.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else over the past couple years?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. What have we done?
Okay. Well, I'm asking you.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
What is it?
I'm asking you. You were there.
Yeah.
You have been here.
Yeah.
So I don't have to tell you what happened. You were there. You have been here, witnessing. Everything's going on. We've been living in the same world. So I don't have to explain anything. If you don't see anything else that I needed to be stood up for, then that's fine. That's your perception. I'm not here to tell you anything different. I'm asking you to understand your perception. Okay.
I mean, the relationship with the cousins and the other narcissist in the family is finished.
And so?
So I have no idea if there's anything else.
Well, what about that?
That's finished.
Should I have been stood up for that?
Yeah, you did get stood up for
What?
that.
How?
Bruce didn't
At what
even
point did you tell that they shouldn't have said what they said or treated me the way that they treated me?
I even sent him an email.
Oh, yeah, okay. And when did you participate in that group family email that was going on? Remember you were in the basement reading the emails? And I was answering back when they sent everybody a email saying that I'm a huge bitch and a liar?
Did I get that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about it as it was happening.
Yes, okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
What point did you tell them that, when did you back me up there?
I don't remember.
You didn't. You didn't back me up there. Is that normal?
No.
Why is that not normal?
Because I'm not capable of confronting in certain situations.
Okay, so it's a confrontation problem.
Okay.
You're afraid of confrontation.
Yes.
Okay, just like how when he showed up at the door and you hid in the door.
I didn't hear him. I swear to God, that day I did not hear him. I was downstairs with the aquarium. I didn't hear a damn thing. By the time I came upstairs, he was gone. You told me he'd been there, and I saw his car outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that I swear, I wasn't hiding.
Okay.
I just did not hear him.
Okay.
Had you called me, if I
You
heard
told
I
me
would
he
come
was
up.
on his way.
Yeah, I said don't answer the door if Danny shows up.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure where he was going, and I had told him that I wasn't home. But when I went downstairs, I did not hear him.
So you don't back me up
Yes.
because you're afraid of confrontation.
Yes.
But 5 minutes ago, you couldn't think of a reason why I would have needed to be stood up for.
Now you're telling me what happened with that's something that I should.
Right. But you didn't think of that or remember that until I pointed that out for you.
Yes.
So the things that cause me tremendous problems don't stand out to you in your mind.
Okay, because everybody's perception is different, right?
Everybody's perception is different. You can't tell me one fucking thing that matters to my life.
Yeah, your family for one.
Oh,
which
does
has
it?
Disintegrated.
Does it?
I
You
know
think
that.
I give a about my family now? What is that, the most important thing to my life?
Okay.
Anyways, you want coffee? I don't think we're really making progress with this conversation. Anyways, besides, are you gonna stop me when I leave?
No.
You're not.
Well, no. If you want to leave and you're ready to leave, I'm not going to stop you. But I'm going to pay you for whatever you leave here.
What?
The TV, I want to pay you for. The bedroom set, if you leave it, I'm going to pay you for it.
No, I'm selling my shit. You can take the TV.
You're selling it?
Yeah, I'm selling it like a adult.
Why can't I buy it? I need a bed.
You have a bed.
That thing is all broken and the
Oh, well,
mattress is
my fucking bed is being sold to somebody. It's promised to somebody. You can go to IKEA and buy a bed like a grown up too.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.